Okay, I hope we're ready. This is the Boise State setup I want to talk about. Um, um, okay. Actually gonna have to edit this, which is kind of meh, but whatever. Okay, so Boise State setup. I want to start a series of recapping my Boise State experience, but to do that effectively, there's going to be a lot of terms that I use when going through the recap, as far as that relate to the setup of the simulation. So I want to talk about that first. So Boise State is set up in a Boise State of Kansas thing. And so they take the state and divide it up into 10 counties. So they draw the state like this pretty much, and then they'll draw lines like this. They're evenly sized horizontally, and then they'll take a line down the middle. And then in this book, I should have a map. This is my notes book from Boise State. Like, there's my speech that I gave to the governor and stuff like this. Okay, so here is the map that I drew. So I'll be recreating that in this notebook for you guys here. So this first box, there were 10 counties. There's Bradley County, Marshall, Eisenhower, Patton, Kennedy, Powell, MacArthur, O'King, oh, Pershing, Powell, MacArthur, and Seitz. So Boise State was split up into these 10 counties. And so I'm going to talk about simulation first, referring back to my map. There are 3 types of counties. Agricultural counties, industrial counties, and the last type was oil and gas counties. So the types of counties refers to the industry they're in. And so I was in MacArthur, and we were in industrial county. So, and then Seitz was an industrial county. Powell was an industrial county. King was industrial. Let's see, I don't see what Pershing. I know Patton was oil and gas. Bradley was agricultural. Marshall was agricultural. Industry. Kennedy was industry. Powell was industry. Oil and gas. Eisenhower was oil and gas. Oh, Kennedy was agricultural. And Pershing was agricultural too. So in the simulation, we have these 10 counties, and they're split up into these different types. So we have 4 agricultural, 4 industrial, and 2 oil and gas. So, but if you, so some of the simulations, over the simulation, a dam came up, and so that would hurt the oil and gas counties because oil and gas is used and burned to make energy. And so you can see how majority of the state, out of 8 out of the 10, would be in favor of that because it would if it lowered the bill for gas, but 2 of them wouldn't. So you start to have this push and pull in Boise State of the greater good or good for yourself, and how do you keep those balanced? in a sort of way. So those are the counties, and that's kind of some other things to note about the map portion of Boise State. You have the River of Democracy that flows down the middle of Boise State. There were also some wetlands here. There over here was iron and coal ore. There were more wetlands up here. And then through the oil and gas counties there were pockets of oil and natural gas. And so in my county, MacArthur, we couldn't build, there would be no reason to build a pump to get natural gas because we don't even have natural gas in our county. And vice versa for them, they wouldn't want to build a mine because they don't have, iron and coal like our county did over in MacArthur. So that's kind of how resources in the map was divvied up. In real life, it was interesting because there were 2 dorms, 10 floors each. And so 1 floor per county. And actually, if I think about it, it's like MacArthur was on the 2nd floor, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and Bradley was on top, I know, of Goodnow. And then this was Marlatt at the college campus. So Goodnow, Marlatt. Once again, I want to say 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, but there was nobody on the 1st floor. But their per floor was a county, and in each floor there are 3 cities. Or in each county there are 3 cities. 3 cities per county. And in the dorms, so a floor looked like this. So you had a main central area, then you had a hall, and a hall, and a hall, and if this was north, let's see, north. And so we do have the stairwell, and then there were elevators, and then there, right here would be chairs, and then some tables and chairs over here. But over here would be the dorm rooms. And so my city was Jansen City, and I was roomed like down here. This is where I would spend all my that's not where I would spend all my happy time, but that was my room. So down each of these halls would be a city. So this is a city, this is a city, and this is a city. So when you ask someone where they were from, if they said, "Oh, I'm from this county in this city," then if someone else is in your city, then the hall that you sleep in, they are spending their time in there as well. So it kind of creates this unity dynamic in the simulation of you care for the people kind of more that you're closer to, who are also the people in your city. So that was really neat. And it's the same for each county. So because there's 3 cities per county, we have a total of 30 cities. And so that's a little bit about the setup of Boise State. This is getting a little long, so the next time I'm going to make one about Boise State jobs and kind of what that looks like. But this is just kind of an overview of the construction of cities, both in the simulation world and in kind of how it looked on a day-to-day level. So when I'm going over a recap here in a little bit of, people from my city or Clawson City. Clawson City would have been over here for me. So I was in Jansen City, Clawson City was over here, and this was Jefferson or Jackson City. One or the other. I think it was ours was Jansen. I think they were Jackson. It was another J. And so seeing their city and kind of how you competed, and you'd compete for like welfare and different resources and stuff. Now I'm rambling, but kind of this is you ask people what city you're from, and this is what plays into that, and they answer that question. That's what I'm trying to get across. Thank you.